Good morning again. Yesterday we had a day, farmer went off and did a bit of spraying where he could. Just spraying off some of the fields. If this dry weather continues, it's looking like we might get going, but we don't want to jinx anything yet, and if it doesn't become good enough to go, we're not gonna go. But we're just getting things in place where if it does, we haven't got anything to do, we can just go drilling. I hope that we do, but just been a bit of a, it's been wet for a whole month now, and I mean proper wet. Anyway, got some stuff to move. Somebody was asking me for an update on the 8S, so we got to head up to the other farm, pick a trailer up, so I will we'll have a drive up there in it. For the most part, it's been on top form. I had a confession. I had an absolute mare with it the other day. I'll explain. There goes Ricky and Alec. I keep forgetting, that's what I keep forgetting. It's in my head every night I go home. I need to get my nameplate. Anyway, we had some time around the drill yesterday. I put the tractor on just to make sure nothing was leaking. I had everything buttoned up by one pipe, so we had a little leak to start with, but tightened that and that was good as gold. Yeah, farmer went off and did a day spraying yesterday. I think he did 150 acres or something, he said, so whoa, so that's pretty good. It's 150 you ain't got to do today, so I think he's hoping to head up to Mick's farm to do that. Right, so I got in this tractor the other day, and this was a little bit embarrassing. But one of the young lads, there's two handbrakes. There's a handbrake down here, manual handbrake, and then it's got a another handbrake on the stalk here, electronic handbrake. We had this new door fitted, and it doesn't fit properly, it catches. So we've got to have a look at that as well. That was fitted by Chandler's. Anyway, I got in it the other day, and we've had issues before where the electronic handbrake won't release. It doesn't do it now, but at the start of owning the tractor, it used to have this weird little issue where it would do that. Anyway, I thought we'd have a little drive up in the 8S. I haven't driven this tractor much. I've driven it a couple of times. We did a couple of muck loads with it. Young Davo's driven it more than I have. But, you know, I had the handbrake, I had this handbrake on, and I was going in and off with this one. Oh my god, I must have looked like a right lunatic. I was in that shed for about 20 minutes trying to, and I thought it was all to do with this electronic one. Anyway, yeah, that was my own bad on that, and I went to the farm. Oh my god, that tractor's playing up again, and it wasn't the tractor's fault this time, it was my fault, the idiot driving. There we go. Anyway, we've had this door replaced. This is a new door, and it's got this is a new frame as well. But when they installed it, and if you look outside, it's just not lined up quite correctly, so we have either got to have them back to line it up, or we got to figure out how to line that up. If you look outside, you can see where the old door used to line up. Anyway, we've got to go and fetch this load of hay for a customer, which is at another farm, and we're also going to take the hay lorry that's waiting for us up there as well. I drove it the other day, and it's just a lovely tractor now. It's just so quiet in here. Keithy drives it the most. He still complains of sometimes jerky and weird gearbox. He says every time they calibrate it, it goes really nice, and then he says it sort of comes out of calibration, and then it's not so nice. So, but it's had a gearbox update, and I imagine they will keep updating the software till they get it into a happy place. But for the most part, we can use it. It's drivable. I actually think it's not too bad. I drove it the other day. I haven't done like a full day on it, so you don't really know, but yeah, it's just everything seems to be a bit better on it. It sometimes has weird glitches. If you start it up too soon, it will, certain aspects of the tractor won't work, like the front linkage and the push out on the hitch. They seem, that was, but I haven't incurred that problem for a little while now, since they updated it. But I don't use it that often. But for the most part, we just got to get this door lined up properly. Yeah, she's good as gold, you know. And Farmer said at the start, you know, the worst thing for us was the brakes, which they sorted out. They were awful. They were so snatchy and jerky one way. It was pretty bad. But ever since it's come back, you know, it's been okay. Would we have another one on Dyna 7, you ask us, Matt? I don't know. If it was me buying it, I would lean towards the Dyna VT. Even though I haven't driven one, but I would just, I feel like the gearbox on this just is the letdown point now. If they could get it reliably good all the time, it wouldn't be such a problem. But if I was buying one personally, and I will never ever be able to, because I am not in a position to, obviously, but if I had my own money and I was buying one, I'd buy one with a Dyna VT, and I don't think you'd have any issues at all. You'd love it. You'd love it a lot, actually. You'd like it. I love all the layout. I love the cab. I think the cab's too big for this tractor, but I think they use this cab on the 9S as well, so, you know, they got to save costs somewhere. But on the whole, you know, I like driving it. I like being in it. I like using the GPS on it. Everything's to your hand on this. I love this, and this is in the 7S as well. The tractor I want is a 7S. I'd love a if they did, like, you know, the boys did tell me at Chandler's that a couple of years in the future they're going to be bringing out higher horsepowered 7S's, so we'll see. Anyway, there's our lorry. He would like us to go. He's going to follow us up to the next farm. It's just the delay between gear shifts. That's the only thing Keithy really complains about now, and I do get it. But to me, it's like, you know, it's like the Dyna 6. You know the characteristics of that gearbox, and you just sort of drive around them. But that's how I would look at it. I would have another one of these. It would come with a Dyna VT, even though I don't know much about that gearbox because I never used it. But I hear good things, you know, stepless transmission, no delays between rages, you know, it all screams. There's our grass that we planted, but most of that is actually black grass. But I'm glad to see a green cover over there. That was for a customer. We will come past our field of our new grass laying in just a second. For some reason it's derating itself again. I thought they'd cured that. But I noticed driving it the other day, it kept doing that, and that's linked to the brake pedal. There's a sensor on the brake pedal that thinks the brake pedal's split. So it limits you to 40k, so you don't end up steering yourself off the road when you hit the brakes. But I believe a simple press of the brake pedals will do that. There's our new lay, look, out there. The rain really did a number on it, but we're hoping that a set of rolls and harrows are going to finish those little channels where the water ran. But other than that, that was a perfect field of grass that we planted. You couldn't have done it any better. Drilled 2 ways at half rate. Absolutely perfect. You can see how quiet it is in here. I love the cab in this thing. Got our man in his lorry behind us. Farmer's going to load him up 55 bales of straw. Fields are still too wet. We were out there yesterday. Farmer was managing to get on a few, the better ones, but you know, we're still 7 to 10 full days away from drilling, which means we'll probably be drilling in 5. That's usually the way it works, get impatient. Whoa, 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 my friend, you gotta calm down. I do think these tractors should start at least 240 horsepower, because I just feel like this thing is underpowered a little bit. It's 205 horsepower, this one, but I feel like, you know, they should start with 230 or something like that, you know. It's fine, and it does what it needs to do. But it could do with another 20 horses. Just because it's so heavy and such a big frame. I still don't like these indicator stalks. I wish they had the old version back on there. Change range. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Anyway, that's our man from Wales. Behind us. He has taken a fair few loads already. You see the roads still terrible condition. Oh Christ. These poor people that buy these fancy new cars that have got to drive on these roads. I tell you what, I wouldn't be driving a car with fancy alloys around here. Anyway, the tractor's good, you know. I don't think there's too much wrong with it. The gearbox, you know, I can live with that. It's I don't think there's anything wrong with it as such. It's just the Dyna 6 was the same. It's slow between the ranges, and you can increase the speed of it in the software, but it seems to be a bit too vicious on itself. You know, when you increase the speed of the change and stuff. So we find the middle position is just the ideal position for it to be smooth and not too laggy, you know. If they could so they did a thing a little while ago, you know, Class bought the same gearbox as Massey's having them. We're going back a little while. I don't know what series tractors they were, but they were using the same gearbox, the Dyna 6 gearbox in the Class tractors, but they had different software attached to them. And Cole had one of these tractors, and the difference in drivability was insane. And it was all through software. So I believe once they get the software perfected, you know, it'll be lovely. But you know, I'm driving it, no issues. There's no, I'm not in any fear of running out of gears or not getting anywhere. This tractor is a bit big though. They're just about to meet my old mate on the corner there. They might have to come back a bit. Busy little village, this one, with the morning rush to work. So we got a little bit of rain coming Friday into Saturday. There's a couple of fronts coming over. How much rain we'll get, we don't know, but we're hoping it's not going to be too bad. So you heard the tractor rev then. That wasn't me revving, that was the tractor revving. And it still does that on occasion, but nothing like the way it used to do it. So are we happy with our tractor now? Yes, we're happy. Basically, if that's what you want to know, we're happy. We wasn't happy before, but we are happy now, so that's the main thing. It's good man here. Anyway, we're going to pick up a trailer, bring it back to the farm, and then we've got cows to feed. And yeah, we did some bad eyes in the shed the other day. We had a another bad eye with a cow yesterday. A run of bad eyes at the minute, but they're all on the mend. We had a good look at them. There was one more new one in the car shed, so we done him. But having all the controls in your right hand here with the gear lever itself, that is lovely, really nice. Anyway, it's not a review on the 8S, you know, I like the tractor, I like the design, I like how quiet it is. Do I wish the gearbox was better? Yes, I wish it was better. If you want an honest answer out of me, I wish it was better. But is it usable? Yeah, it's usable. Has it done everything we wanted it to do? Yes, it has. What other questions would there be? We just got to get this door lined up properly, because we don't want to, it's catching on the lock at the minute as it shuts, so we don't want it to give us a problem another day, but we've got to sort that out when we've got a bit of time. But anyway, we're heading up to Peter's Farm. This is Peter's Farm. This is in the little village of Horton-cum-Studley. Really nice, picturesque village. They got a bit of building works going on this road at the moment. A bit of a pain, has been, but we're early, so we might get away with running through without having to move anyone. Iridium might have to find someone here to get himself by. It's a little bit annoying. There's plenty of spaces. Biggest thing I love with this tractor is this handle down here to operate the hitch. I think they should employ that on all the Masseys. You can operate your arms and you push out of the hitch all with one hand. That is pretty nice. And then we've got our mirror there to guide us in. Mirror's not ideal. I'd love a camera to look at, but you can do it with a mirror. That's better. Got to make sure she's hooked. Everything from one handle. I love that. That is really nice. Rest it all down on the arms. They should hopefully they bring that to the 7S's and everything else. But you've got your push out on there. You haven't got a separate spool for push out. Everything's on that handle. I think you can see it down there. Look. You pull the handle. Yeah, lovely, lovely. That is really nice. Whoever designed that did a good job. There goes the lorry. Anyway, 55 barley straw going on there this time, made by Robert and his dad. Whoa, watch the water tank. So this is coming home, then we're going to feed some cows. Anyway, I'll just show you us going up the hill with the load we got on. It's not a super heavy load, I would say. It's not a full load by any means. It's only a small one, I would call it. But the tractor as a whole is good, you know. It hasn't had any major mechanical issues at all, so that's good. And we've used it this year, you know, we've used it all year. Right, I've got to get a gate. Show you this as the last clip, but I like using this hill because it's quite a steep hill and it sort of gives any machine a good little test, especially when you've got a load on the back, you know, its power. You sort of whatever gear you find yourself in coming up the hill, sort of, oh, might give that boy a flashy flash. He hasn't seen me, I don't think. Okay, right, that's us. I was hoping that bus would come by, but he's not. Never mind. I always start in the range you're going to be in as you're coming down, so watch our load on that truck. Give him a wave. And then 3G, so we're in the last gear of the third range. Coming down the gears. Farmer, you know, this is light load, so it's not really taxing the tractor too much. You know when you got a heavy load on, when you're down in 3B, 3B or 3C coming up that hill. Silage, you know, 6-string meadow hay, full load of that will bring you down the gears. Arctic load, mind. But farmer's adamant, you know, he's adamant that, oh, look at this man, it's Jacob. Here we go, he find himself on a video. He's a good lad, local lad from up the road. Steady driver, good lad he is. This car is waiting for us, so that's nice. But farmer's adamant that the 200 horsepower tractors of today are not a patch on the 200 horsepowers of the tractors of yesteryear. Quite quiet up here today. Usually this is a rat run to Oxford and can be quite a challenge driving through here at times. But as long as you take yourself steady, it's never really an issue. Ooh. Local. That's how I like to see people. Smile and wave. Anyway, farmer says he reckons the 200 horsepower tractors of years ago are much better than the 200 horsepower tractors of today. He reckons they not a patch on them. Quite tight today up here. We'll get ourselves going in a second. But you know, driving it is, oh, you know, it's plenty good enough for me. I would be happy if this was my sole tractor and that's all I had. I'd be happy, no problem. So there we go. Little look at the 8S. The door issue we will have to do. They've beefed the door up. I think I did say that. They beefed the door up. So it's not quite as flappy as it was. We're gonna have to get up on the curb here. No options. Now we've got to come down because of the trees. People are pretty good. You know, this is rush hour. Usually people are a little bit impatient this sort of time of day. Same in every country, but people are pretty good today. Give them all a wave for thank you for stopping. Everyone takes their time. It's no issues at all. And these guys, they're all heading up to Oxford, so that's where they're headed. Anyway, a little look at the 8S. You know, I'd be quite happy if this was my tractor, no worries. Keithy's been driving it the most, you know, he sits on it every day throughout the summer. And I don't know what hours this thing's got on it now. Does this tell me? Counter? Wouldn't know, don't know where to find that. You can find it. It's got about 2,000 hours on it, I think now. So it's got a fair few hours on it. That's full throttle there. And slowing down again. Let this man come into the side in here. Right, there we go. Little look at the 8S. Yeah, you know, we haven't said a lot about it because there's nothing to be said. So, yeah, when something's working, you won't hear me moaning about something. So there we go. I'd love to see a 7S here at one point, but farmer's got, you know, we'll have a chat with a farmer one day because things are changing massively in the farming, in the UK farming, and I don't know if it's the same for everyone else, but things are not changing for the better. They're taking all the land out of arable. They're making it very difficult to do anything. We've actually got a spot check on Blue Tongue next week, just after us weaning calves, so farmer's not too happy about that, and it's the time we're just literally getting into a time where we might be able to get going with drilling, and they want to come and do that, and it's just not fair. You know, we can't do it all. on a normal year, would it be a problem? No, not really, but we do have the, you know, the wheat is a priority for us at the minute. They want to spot check 30 animals randomly for blue tongue, so I don't know a lot about the disease. Apparently it's spreading across the country. I don't know what happens if they find it. I imagine it's not good, you know, if they find TB, it's not good. You don't want to be finding it. Why they're looking for it as hard as they are, I don't know. Farmers can be convinced they're just trying to, you know, he is convinced they're trying to stop us farming, full stop. Oh. Come on, mister. Bloody indicator. Can't stand this indicator. They need to put that back to a stalk like this. Nothing wrong with a stalk. Why change it? It's my only gripe with it now, the indicator stalk. We came in this morning, something had happened around here. We don't know quite what had happened. We don't know whether it was something on the motorway, a tyre gone off, or somebody poking about that shouldn't be, we don't know. But anyway, something had spooked these cattle. They'd gone from this end of the shed, they'd ran full pelt at this barrier over here, and Christ, I don't know how they didn't bust it. The whole barrier, this end barrier, that was, you can see it, it's bowed out like a banana at the minute. Anyway, we've had to do some strengthening. Farmer's done it this morning. I've been loading a lorry of hay. We've had a load of barley gone out. But a few years ago, these lot did. They bust out of there. They've done the same. We don't know what spooked them, but they were all, they must have all sprinted from the other side and just back straight into the barrier. The water trough was knocked over. Yeah, a little bit concerning. We're not too sure what's going on there. We might set some cameras up just to, if it happens again, see what's going on there. We don't know if it's just simply a, you know, a tyre gone bang on the motorway with a lorry. You know, that could feasibly be something simple like that. Anyway, we're just doing some jobs around the yard at the moment. But I've got to show you the old man's hay trophies before we end the video. And we're going to get the drill just ready to go so that we can just jump on it, put seed in it. We've had, I don't want to jinx anything, but we've had 2 whole beautiful days in a row. It's a, I know, it's a bit of a miracle.